Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey, what's up, aunties and unks and everybody else? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Live regarding Jussie. I said he innocent. Yes, I did. I think he was framed. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but did y'all watch the Netflix documentary? OMG. If you didn't see part one, please watch that from yesterday, because part two, I'm just going to explain further, from some key points he pointed out specific to the allegations that were brought forth against him. Now, I'm not going to be an hour like I was yesterday, but what I have to say is important because a lot of people refuse. Well, I'll say this. I've seen quite a few people, whether they're in someone's live or in someone's chat, I'm not watching that. He did what he did, and a whole lot. I ain't watching for this reason. I ain't watching for that reason. A lot of people I've seen, different platforms, are saying they don't want to watch it. Well, sometimes we have to watch it so that you can understand fully about the What's Going Down episode of The Truth About Jussie Smollett. Hello. I was shocked to learn that there were two eyewitnesses that corroborated his story, but people aren't talking that because they didn't put that out then. I mean, really, a lot of people are under the impression, they believe the stories from Chicago's finest, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. And I just can't get with it. Not that I don't ever believe Popo. That's not even what it's about. But this is a case-by-case basis, okay? I mean, I think not too long after that was the girl, was it North Carolina somewhere, hoax sometime when she saw a baby and all that. It's nothing like that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get Jussie effed up about putting the hoax on. His family's behind him. His friends are behind him. And the fact of these two people, which was a security guard for the other hotel, as well as a neighbor in his own building, both saw who Jussie saw beating him up. What's strange is, I think he was framed. I think either the big person in charge with lots of money got the white men to do it because there may have been some pushback from the Osundario brothers. So that would make it even more clearer that, okay, well, somebody else got to him before us, thinking of the Osundario brothers. So they left. They went back home to where they stayed on the other side of town. Now, what's smart is the white guys that beat up Jussie, they didn't leave a paper trail to where they were. As a matter of fact, at the end of the documentary on Netflix, the investigative journalist who was looking deeper and further into everything, once things quieted down, once it was pretty much a wrap, there were some pieces of evidence, like I mentioned, the two eyewitnesses that was not explored, and they wanted to explore it. So she delved further, and at the end, she was able to be a part of questioning the security guard and the attorney for the Osundario brothers and a few other folks. But those two people, actually the Osundario brothers as well, they were given the same data that the investigative journalist got. Now, this data was a video of two of the men to where now mind you, it was a 2-something in the morning, right? These two men, the color scheme of the video was doctored, not doctored as in, what Chi-Town police be doing from what they reported in this Netflix documentary, but doctored so that you can see the video in color, first of all, and to appear lighter daylight time. And when the two guys walked in front of the camera in the frame that was taken, it was obvious that they were white men, right? As the video was presented to the Osundario brothers, they said, "Oh, we see two black guys." Mind you, you see that picture right there, Jussie? The piece of data or the video that was shown that I'm referring to towards the end of the documentary, the men in the video were lighter than Jussie. Lighter hued than Jussie is in this photo you see on this backdrop here. So the Osundario brothers are keeping their lie going. They have to. Okay, fine. So then we give that same data to the security guard. The security guard says he sees black men walking, which was strange. The attorney for the Osundario brothers looked at it and said, "Oh, these are two white men." And the whole point of that is, from what they were saying, was you can put a speculated batch of white men in front of people, and they will say that they see black men. Hello. Doesn't that sound convincing as to why people still think, especially those who know the inside scoop? Well, now we do. I wonder if there's any more data or information about this case that has not been shared. We know for a fact those 10 seconds in that video showing the security guard who has to run in with the two guys, the two white guys who did actually put hands on Jussie, when he flashed his flashlight in their face, because he came out of the hotel and heard fast running footsteps. So he looked like, what was that? Plus it's 2-something in the morning. People are running. So, he's trying to see what's going on. Plus he's security. He's supposed to be aware. That whole 10 seconds is missing from the video. And for some reason, it just cannot be found. And of course, like I said yesterday, from this Netflix documentary, that's something that has happened plenty of times with Chicago police. I swear, I don't understand. What it seems like to me is that they just wanted to get him. Now, there's one other piece of information Jussie wanted to explain. Remember the check that he wrote for working out and such? That was definitely for paying them to work out and everything. There's also speculation about them having a romantic relationship. Jussie never spoke on it. It wasn't explored at all. So I'm not even going to go that route. But the text message where Jussie sent to one of the Osundayo brothers regarding, I need you to keep something on the low. So, I want to talk to you. That was in reference to a substance Jussie wanted them to get that was only available in their native country of Nigeria. It wasn't anywhere in the States, anywhere he can find it or get it. So to me, he linked up with them to, do some things on the low so his stomach can be flat. That's what he said. I'm like, your stomach flat? It ain't flat already? The way it looked, anyway, I guess he needed it to be caved in flat, child. I don't know, but he's the things people do. I'm just saying. So that was an explanation as far as it. So everything that has been thrown Jussie's way has a perfect explanation for. Again, let's go over the evidence one more again. So we just explained the text message. He wanted some substance. Let's talk about the check. That was for the workouts and all that regimen stuff that he paid for them to do. The contraband, the video of the Osundayo brothers purchasing the paraphernalia, there was, they say Jussie paid them to go get it. No concrete evidence, no nothing other than what they said Jussie did or what they said Jussie said. And the cops took that as gospel. The next bit of evidence, the so-called dry run of the attack, was a video of Jussie driving on that street, which was the street to where his housing was. He didn't back up. He didn't get out the car. He didn't simulate an attack. He didn't do anything other than drive one way. And there's only one time that they have him driving one way. And the Popo called that a dry run of the attack. How, Sway? How, Sway? Then there's the hate mail that came to his job. Popo said he must have sent it to himself because it lines up with everything else that they've cocked up in their brains. Real interesting. So Chicago's Finest says that he must have, not that he did. There's no other evidence. There's no other linking. There's nothing else tying to this piece of so-called evidence other than he must have sent it to himself, considering everything else that they have on him. But they didn't have anything on him. The check specifically stated the job that he hired the brothers to do for him, as far as getting him healthy, working him out, things of that nature. The text message did not say, I need you to beat me up, nothing like this. Pretty much vague as we often do when we're not trying to give up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's not gonna put in a text message, I need for you to get me such and such because it's only from your native country. Who does that? He's a well-known public figure with a lot at risk. Why would he say that in a text? Anyway, all I'm saying is, y'all, whoever hasn't watched it, go watch it. It's eye-opening to know that there are two witnesses, the security guard and the neighbor, that corroborated seeing the two attackers with their own eyes. They were pretty much in the same space as the two attackers. They didn't go into any of the bleach spilled on him. I didn't hear not one mention of that. However, we heard about that in the beginning. They didn't say they found bleach. They didn't say anything to that effect. And one crazy sounding thing that the lead Popo dude said was he noticed that the sandwich he got from Subway wasn't all mashed up. It was, in pretty good condition. What? Please watch this, because I have been saying for the last 5, 6, maybe 7, however long this has been going on, ever since the beginning, I said, I don't think he did this. Knowing the family he's come from, knowing how he is, and then he did not ever appear or seem to be problematic, and still doesn't. Him having the noose around his neck for the police to see, he didn't have it on the whole time. When he took it off and he put it on for them to see it on him. He's an actor. He's thinking, okay, visual effects of them seeing this on me, taking pictures and all of that. It's weird a little bit, but I think we can understand he wanted them to see what he looked like. You know what I'm saying? And also regarding his cell phone, he didn't want to give them his cell phone. Well, he said he has a lot of things in there that just can't be, shared. And they never asked him for anything specific. So if you just want to peek around in his phone, well, what do you need? I'll send it to you. I'm sure he would have had they asked. So with them playing in his face from jump, playing in his face again, giving him a lineup of only Black men, giving him 2 pictures of the Osundario brothers as the people who beat him up, again, playing in his face, and then investigating him instead of investigating those 2 eyewitnesses, more playing in his face. Yeah, I would look like that too. I think he may have taken this picture when he went to the emergency room to get checked out. Whenever he took this picture, this is telling as to how things went with thinking Chi-Town's finest would protect and serve. Who are they protecting and who are they serving? Seems like they're protecting themselves and they're serving themselves. There's no way on this side of, let me start over. There's no way on God's green earth he should have been investigated when they failed to investigate those 2 and it's not like the eyewitnesses could not be um, talked to again. They have ties in that. I'm still. I don't ever want to go to Chicago. I've been there one time, drove through it, driving cross country years ago. I don't want to go there because if something happens to me, they're going to investigate me. You know, and as far as the crime rate, child, I really don't need to be there. No shade, but shade. You know, I'm fine right where I like to go. I ain't got to worry. Anyway, I don't want shame on Chicago PD. Shame on those who chose to investigate him versus serve and protect. Shame on those who wanted to make him the scapegoat when they had a job to do. Shame on that judge who thought he was, reading him the riot act. Shame on everybody involved and just shame on everybody who made fun of this man. Shame on everybody who thinks it's a joke. What if the bleach got into his eyes and blinded him? Just saying, just saying. But I'll say this just to play devil's advocate. If he's lying, it'll come out. But he's innocent. He always was innocent. And I really would love to know how, after all of this, did the charges get dropped, dismissed, expunged, whatever that term is called, from him? I wonder if it was because of those two eyewitnesses and how Chicago PD fumbled another bag for a Black man who, I have to say, for a gay Black man. I don't know. Sometimes sometimes it's your own, y'all. Sometimes it's your own. I think that's all I got. That's all I wanted to share. If any more developments come up with this story, I'm going to talk about it because I wanted to talk about it then, when it was going on. And then I started my channel roughly around 2021, maybe 2022. I really, because I was like, I'm going to do this story, but I didn't. I changed my mind, but I'm glad I'm doing it now. I don't think this will be the end that we'll hear about this. And I hope that more people are talking about this documentary, specifically regarding how and why Chicago's finest did not investigate those two eyewitnesses who corroborated his story, and why they chose to go after him. Child, I think that's all for right now. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I appreciate that. And we'll talk with you later. Bye, y'all.